Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Coaching Edge. I hope you're having a great day and that everything's going your way. Today, I'd like to talk about broken hearts and heartbreak. It's one of those topics that sometimes it's just very hard to understand or it just really hurts. And I wanted to talk a little bit about heartbreak today. You know, at some point in your life, you will have to face heartbreak. Maybe more than once. It just all depends on the situation, obviously. But, almost anybody could break your heart, but usually it's somebody you're very close to, someone that you love and care about very much. And you may be one of those people that you can't imagine life without them. Sometimes that happens, and, it can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe someone passes away and they're just gone, and that's very heartbreaking. Also, or someone that you loved and care about just walks out of your life and you never hear from them again. I mean, I've seen that. I've witnessed that, and it's not easy. It's very hard. And dealing with that isn't always easy by any means. Now, I think the stuff I'm talking about more today is not so much when someone passes away, because that's more a part of a grieving process. But at the same time, you kind of go through a grieving process as well when someone that you're very close to just walks out of your life. Whether, they could be a husband and wife, maybe one just decides to leave the marriage and never really says anything again. Maybe it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, could be best friends. Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's a sibling. It can happen, and it does happen. And like I said, it can be very painful and hurtful. And a lot of times we're left asking questions of why. Why did this happen? Why did things go the way they did without really understanding? And sometimes I think it's just really hard to deal with. And I think what I've learned just from what I've experienced is, one, it is kind of a grieving process, and it's going to take some time. It's not something you just flip a switch and, oh well, it just doesn't quite work that way. You can't bury it. You can't run from it. You have to really kind of deal with it and, acknowledge it. It's kind of like going through the grieving process, like I said. And it's important to take a look at the situation, but you need to look at things with forgiveness no matter what. Whether you made mistakes in the relationship, maybe the other person made some big time mistakes, maybe they wronged you badly. But you have to find a way to forgive yourself, and you have to find a way to forgive them, no matter what happened. Even if there's no explanation, even if they hurt you, you have to find a way to forgive them. That's the only way you're going to find peace and be able to move on from that. And it's not easy. I'll be the first person to tell you, it's not easy to deal with heartbreak. It's probably one of the hardest things you'll have to face in life. But I am going to tell you this. You have to understand that most of the people that are in our lives do bring us lessons. Like I said, it could be a husband, a wife, basically a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a friend. It could be kind of a coworker even. I mean, that can happen. And sometimes people are just in our lives for a season. I know sometimes it's hard to wrap our head around that, especially when we love that person, we care for that person, and all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. We have to understand that maybe their lesson in our life served its purpose. That sometimes happens. It's hard to see that and understand that at the time, but looking back on it after you've dealt with it you'll understand that, well, that person, you can look on that person and be grateful for the time that you did have with them, because they brought you some lessons. You learned some things. Maybe you learned love for the first time in your life. You knew what it was like to really love someone. It doesn't mean that you stop and not be afraid to put out love to people again. You have to be able to do that because it will bring you great joy. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there again and love other people. Because I really believe that's where you find the true joy in life, is when you can love other people. And sometimes people aren't going to love you back, and that's okay. Usually when one person walks out of your life, another one will enter at some point. It may not be how you envisioned or how you saw it. Maybe it's not necessarily a boyfriend or new boyfriend or girlfriend, but maybe it's a friend that walks into your life that is like your best friend for the rest of your life. So you can't get so dwell on the negative part of the situation and and how they walked out and never to be seen again or heard from again. Or they chose someone else, that type of thing. Like I said, sometimes seasons pass and the lessons that the person brought to you are over. Maybe you learned all the lessons that you were supposed to have. And I think you have to have a big understanding of that and understand that God has a plan for your life. He understands what's going on. He's with you. God is in all of us, and he knows what you're facing and what you see. And the big thing to do is turn to him and ask him, hey, what's going on? What am I missing here? What did I not learn? Can you show me? Pray about it. And the answers will come to you. You just got to take the time to listen. That's something that will help you. I know that's something I've learned along the way as people have kind of hurt me. Talk to God about it and see what he tells you and teaches you about the situation. So, I look at those people from the past that hurt me pretty bad, and you know what? I forgive them. I'm grateful for the life lessons that they brought me. I wouldn't be who I am today without that person or without those people. And that's kind of how you have to look at it and see it. And then the other thing is you have to look at them and say, you know what? You know how you know you've forgiven them? When you can wish them well without even saying it. You know what? I'm so grateful for that person. I really wish them well in life no matter what they do. I pray that they're successful and that things go their way. And that's how once you're able to do that, you've healed from that situation and been able to move on from it. And, you may never see that person again. Then again, you may run into them at the movie theater or somewhere else sometime. You just don't know. But you have to be able to let go of that situation and not hang on to the hurt and the bitterness. And just like I said, usually there's a lot of hurt with heartbreak. And sometimes it's very hard to understand. And it takes some time to go through and digest. So understand that if you're watching this video because someone broke your heart, you will get through it, and you will learn a ton about yourself. And I encourage you to love again. It's okay to love people and understand that, certain people may only be in your life for the season. If they're not there, they maybe didn't want to be there. So, because I find that the people that really want to be in your life, they will be there for you, and they will be your best friend the rest of your life. So, and the feelings should be mutual. So love is a two-way street, and it should be unconditional. And that's the way it should be between, like I said, husband, wives, siblings, parents, friends. It's just, love's a two-way street. It should be unconditional. And when you have people that want to be in your relationship with you, whether it be your friendship or whatever have you, they'll be there for life. So keep that in mind. Granted, things do change. Time changes. Maybe that person has other commitments or other things going on, but chances are they aren't going to just walk out of your life and not come back. It's just your relationship may change a little bit or be more, maybe someone moves across the country so you aren't quite as close, but doesn't mean you won't exchange phone calls, messages, whatever have you. So keep that in mind. So I hope that if you're suffering from heartbreak and are struggling, that's kind of what I do with the Coaching Edge. I kind of help walk you through your situation so you can gain a better understanding of what's going on and what maybe happened. And that way you can let go of some of that and not hang on to all that hurt. Because I definitely know, what it's like to have a heart broken, and I understand where you're coming from. with that. So, hey, if you need anything, just let me know. Thank you for listening today. I appreciate you. And God bless you, my friends. Take care. We'll talk again soon. See ya.